Welcome to another episode of Doek&Tie. She's Duke, I'm Ty.
I'm Wanang, this is my husband,
I
Bukamuso.
can't remember, I just mentioned like our, what are they called? Channel names?
Okay.
So, a big shout out to you for checking out another episode. Today, I'm one of these guys, but I get this month through my wife thinks it's absolutely ridiculous, but I think it makes me look cute.
Thanks, keyword.
I think it makes me look cute and it makes me look a little hip, in tune with the youth.
This is how you know you're aging.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold on to my youth, babe. So I'm trying to stay in tune with the youth.
Start trying to hold on to your youth. It's good.
If you're watching this on Facebook, a big shout out to you. Make sure you like the Doek&Tie page, and as well as follow it so that you don't miss anything that we upload. If you're watching this on the YouTube platform, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and also click on the notification bell so you don't miss any single video or anything really. Could be video, could be pictures that we upload. The last episode I had somebody asking me what was in this because I sounded a little, it's just Coke. I'm a big fan of Coke. Yes.
Or sponsor like a Coke.
Yes, it's a Coke ad. Coke.
Yeah. Okay, so what are we talking about
Coke.
today?
On today's episode, we had somebody. I remember we said people should recommend what we should talk about. Colorful jacket, you like it?
I own it.
Kana. You take all my nice clothes. What am I supposed to wear?
What are we talking about today?
Somebody had suggested, Nare, we seem to be doing well. We seem to be happy. We seem to be dealing.
We
Right?
seem to be happy.
Yeah, we seem to be dealing. So now, where do we go for advice or for help or for assistance? Do we even need to?
We keep it in house.
The question was, where do we go for help? Do we even need help, or do we need external parties to come and advise us on certain matters? That was the question. So I thought, let's flip this around, take it to the platform and talk about it. Where do couples, where do people who are engaged, where do people who are in serious relationships, where do people who are married go for help? Because where you go or where you don't go could be the detrimental factor of whether your relationship or marriage or engagement survives or it doesn't survive. So where do people go for help or for assistance? Do you even need to involve external parties in your business to say, hey, Kana Nale, my partner, we're not doing so great in 1, 2, 3. What do you think? What do you think we should do? What are your recommendations, right? Because, okay, let me give you a chance to speak. What do you think of the whole thing? Where do we go for help?
We haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah, okay.
But we did discuss counseling, getting couples counseling or marital counseling. So I think it's important to get counseling first for whatever issues they may be underlying. It may not be something that someone can tell from afar, or that one. You may have underlying issues. So that's why I feel it's very important to get counseling and talk to someone.
Yeah.
Because we talk to each other a lot. Like we told each other everything. So
Exes, everything.
we used each other for counseling.
So let me come in there, babe. I know you might be watching and saying, hey, but Nalamo Tommy, we're in a very good space.
Yeah.
Our business. Trust me, you might feel you're in a good space, but sometimes when you involve a third party, you'll find out there are certain underlying issues that she might not have realized then I might not have realized. So it's always so important, to involve a counselor. I'll explain why I can get a counselor instead of family, friends, acquaintances, right? So it's very, very important to have somebody you talk to as a couple. It's kind of what so no, when I'm hanging out with the guys out there, got agents, mosadi ga pe mosadi ga nkgaole dinala, you know, such things. You cut my nail.
So
you cut my nail. So if you stop cutting my nails, I'd have a big problem. So like I was saying, it's important that Motolibu and Len, you talk to them as a couple.
Wait. I believe it's important to note that we cut each other's nails. It's not a one-sided affair.
Yeah.
Because you're making it sound like and they always become to bring your nails.
You do?
No.
I can tell so Buba, it's not target.
No, you're actually the one who's always Buba, cut my nails.
Yeah. So back to the topic at hand. Where do couples go to for advice and for where do couples go to for advice? Right?
Yes.
It's quite a difficult one. Maybe let's give us as let's just take our situation, right? Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to do premarital counseling. By the time we were doing Rinyalana, Bonam wasn't here. I was in Botswana, she wasn't. So we never really got the chance to go sit down with a professional or a pastor to say, okay, this is what I expect from my marriage. This is what I expect from my marriage, because I think that's what premarital counseling is really about, just your expectations and the person not back to earth, because I think back to reality, because I think before you are married you both have these expectations of what marriage should be, and you are in a bubble
utopia.
We're all a little crazy and excited to be married, right? So the person or that party just brings you back to reality to say, okay, guys, that's a little unrealistic, that's not sustainable, rather, this is what you are likely to face, and this is how you should tackle it. So we never had a chance to do that, and as of late,
also, it's not a this is how you should tackle it type of thing. I think having someone else listen would sort of help you to actually also be a better listener.
Yeah.
Because you're not just listening to respond.
Yeah.
You'd be like actively listening to what your partner has to say.
Yeah.
I think counseling is also learning to listen.
Yeah. That's also important.
Yes.
So now we never got a chance to do premarital counseling, but as of late, I think we're going on 3 years now. So we made a deliberate decision to say, you know what, as much as we never really actively go to anybody for advice, trust me, people will always give you advice whether you like it or not. But we haven't actively stepped out from the two of us just to say, okay, how do I go to mama room? Your partner, did you ever go through this? And how do you guys tackle it? We've been actively trying to find like a counselor we can go to and just have conversations, even before anything is wrong. Because I think the big misconception about counseling, right? You only go see your pastor, lay your partner, but the thing is, you should go even when you're in good terms, because that way some problems you can even avoid having, right? Certain things can be avoided by just talking about it even before it happens. Yeah. So that's something that we're actively trying to do. I know some people talk to their friends, some people talk to their parents, some people talk to their acquaintances about, the kind of problems that they're facing, probably in either be in marriage, either be in hardly in a serious and committed relationship. But here's why I have a problem, right? Here's why I have a problem. Yeah, you can start.
So I think for me, the greatest takeaway from why it becomes difficult when you go talk to like your friends or your family, if we have a problem and then my best friend, I'm like, couples tend to make up.
Yeah.
It happens, like you can have like a nasty argument and then
the next morning you're good.
We're good, like it never happened.
Yeah.
Or we just forgot about it, or it turned out that it was a misunderstanding and we move on.
Yeah.
But if I now go to my best friend, she has my back. Like, she's got me.
Yeah.
So the minute I'm so
such a douchebag.
Such a douchebag.
Yeah.
Or she might stand up for Bukamuso and be like, but have you really thought about it? Have you this? And then that strains our relationship, because I went to vent about how awful a person Bukamso is.
Yeah.
And all I'm getting is, but he's such a nice guy. So it'll sort of have a strain on our relationship, because friends who tell it like it is are great to have.
Yeah.
However,
it's so nice hearing it.
you know what? And then she goes and gives me a reality check.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for a reality check yet. So then that's gonna strain either our relationship as friends, or it's gonna strain our relationship because I feel like it's such an awful person.
Yeah.
And then we've made up, but
and then she still has
that
yeah.
thing. So that's why it becomes difficult if you go to like friends or family, because if it was my sister's lunch, like yeah.
No, true. Whew. So the aftertaste, one of those still have the aftertaste even after we make up. Yeah. Facts.
So that's why it becomes a little tricky who you involve and what you involve them in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Facts. See, I'm still hip. Facts.
Oh.
My wife thinks I'm old, so I'm like.
I never said you're old.
Do you think I'm cool? Look, I think I'm cool, babe. Come on. I'm cool. So, I'm going to see friends, like she was saying. Yeah, I think the aftertaste thing, for your her friends, if she tells them if we're having any disagreements or arguments,
friends.
or my friends, yeah, it'll still leave a bad aftertaste in their mouths or in their mind after now we've made out, right? So it makes it a little tricky. If we're having problems, do we go see our friends about it? Do we go together?
Do we go vent?
Do we go separately? Do we go vent? Or what? And with family, I think it's kind of the same thing. If I go to my mom, my wife did 1, 2, 3. Guess who said she's gonna take my side? You become a very bad wife who's not good to her son, right? And if we're having problems or arguments, you go to your mom. Guess who said she's gonna take your side?
I wouldn't go to my mom.
No, I'm just giving an example.
I'd go to my dad.
Or your dad. You take whose side? Your side. No, but your dad and I are cool. I think he would take my side. But still, for this example, he would take your side, and I'd be the bad husband who's mistreating their daughter. So that bad aftertaste, it'd still be there even after now we could possibly go and fix our issues. So friends, family becomes a little complicated. I know in our tradition, libitsa batsadi gore nya kana mme re na le kganki lona le bona yang ka gore le kile la gataga le na le dingwaga le ntse le nyalane kan le mo lenyalong a di la gataga le tsamaile yang ga la tsamaelwa yang after le heta ho, right? So that's another thing. We can't avoid tradition, right?
You can't avoid tradition, but also there are some things in tradition that sort of it perpetuates a certain, like, let's say culture always changes. You realize you know what, we realize this practice was not right.
It wasn't working. Yeah.
But now we take a cultural view on it. We go there, and then culture will play a role in their response. They're going to respond in a
very cultural manner. One. Yes to culture.
So then that isn't going to help your marriage.
Yeah.
It's just going to leave you so when this happens
by spread.
Oh God.
I'm just saying, like, with our tradition, there is nothing more than in house. Once what okay, guess what? It spreads like a wildfire. And before you know it, you're the talk of the town or the village. Spread.
Oh gosh.
Okay. So here's another set of people that people normally go to have another matata. Church, pastors, prophets, priests. What's your take on that? Going to tell your pastor, another husband, they run 3 days, we're having issues. What's your take on that?
That's deep.
It's a reality. Like, a lot of us are very religious and we like going that route.
Like, you have to tell him the specifics. Can't you just tell him what me and my husband are going through a very difficult time?
I don't know how that works.
Because I feel like if you're no one person should be privy to such
information.
Yo.
But I think I'd like to acknowledge that some certain pastors or prophets are trained counselors.
If he's a trained counselor, then yes.
Yeah.
Sure, they have experience with being married.
Yeah.
But
I'd like to believe pastors are wise.
Yes,
right? They're wise people.
I also believe that. The one thing that I've learned with time is that generations with marriage, they tended to sort of like approach certain issues with with too much chill.
What do you mean?
Like, they approached matters of infidelity with like such a calm and I think sort of our generations, there are certain things that like we view marriage differently.
They still say that today.
Nobody said that to me. No.
Hey, normally we can make over.
So I believe that.
Wait. They didn't say that to you?
I'm serious.
They did me wrong.
So you're realizing that as our culture changes, as it evolves, people are learning. A lot of people were in like broken marriages, but they stayed in because like a strong marriage is one where you endure all this suffering and this hardship and
makes it hard.
And you have to endure. And then with our generation, people are like, I don't have to endure, because there was a lot of shame associated with getting a divorce back then. Now
it is what it is.
It's a divorce, so what? So you were learning as culture changes, like the things that you would normally put up with, you don't put up with. Like, why do you have to put up with a cheating spouse?
Yeah.
Why? No one can give you like a legitimate reason. All of them are like that. That's what people like say.
Yeah.
All of them are like that. Fine then, I don't want all of them. It is what it is. The end.
One, my baby's back right now. Like, she's very passionate about this stuff. You can go on, baby.
I do not like infidelity. That's just it.
You can go on. It's fine.
So I feel like as our culture is changing, who you go to is going to influence a lot how you sort of react to situations. Because if you go to your very cultural family that believes that linyalo la agiwa ke
Mathata.
Yes.
Yeah.
Having your husband cheat, having the wife cheat, and you guys, you come back, you're like, but this is marriage. Having your wife have a kid from another guy, you having kids from there, and you guys are still in it. But are you really in it? So I feel like that has changed. They have a new perception. Things like like they now teach a more inclusive household where you help each other out, you talk things out.
Yeah.
And funny enough, they'll be the ones to tell you, you don't go spreading it.
Yeah.
You talk to someone.
Yeah.
I think I went a bit.
I was just letting you, get your stuff off. It's fine. We're still talking about pastors, right?
Yes.
Like, how do you feel about going to the church if you have a problem? This is my answer to that. I feel different strokes for different folks, right? I think for me, the most important thing would be, are you both in the church? Baby. Yeah, take the one. Are you both in the church? One church, and you've talked about it and you feel like, you know what, our pastor seems like the kind of person who'd be able to talk to us and would be able to talk to him about our problems. So then that's fine. You can go to the church to ask for advice. But I think Rona as a couple are being a bit biased because we honestly believe that just getting an independent counselor, it'll be neutral ground. There'll be very little bias. I get that would be best.
Because at the end of the day, everyone is human and your pastor is human.
Yeah.
So, if there's like an altar call for marriages and then you don't come, how gonna go to hell? But we can why are you being singled out? When I know you didn't say hell. I feel like people make mistakes. We're human.
Yeah.
So how about you know what? Let's pray for marriages. Let's pray for couples. So how are you going to feel if now he calls you guys for a because then your little personal issue is
very exposed.
It's personal, yes, because he didn't expose like the details, but because
yeah, it's a tricky one. But I think in closing, right, it's very important for as a couple, whether I like saying in a serious relationship, because I believe that's like the first step to being together. Whether you're in a serious relationship, planning on getting married, engaged, or being married, it's always important to have a neutral party you can constantly go to for advice or just to have conversations about living together. It's not easy because she's an individual, I'm an individual. There are certain things that she likes that I don't like. There are certain things I like and she doesn't like. And having to live under one roof in such circumstances, it's bound to cause conflict. Right? It's bound to cause conflict. So it's important for once in a while, just touch base with somebody that both of you feel comfortable talking to. Well, if you'd both be comfortable and open to such a suggestion. So in essence, it's very, 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 very important to have somebody to talk to as a couple. Because of...
But in closing,
yeah,
I do feel like as churches grow, then maybe it's necessary to have like counselors in the church.
In the church, yeah.
In the church, who specifically just counsel. Because, hey, Muruti, like you tell him way too much.
Hey, what do you have against Muruti?
I don't have anything against them, but I feel like
it's too personal.
No, I don't feel like it's like too personal. He should then focus on one thing because you're gonna hear a sermon and then you're gonna feel like it's directed at you. Maybe it's not directed at you, but because he's privy to such information,
yeah.
Then udule because you felt like Muruti na buaka wena, mina sa buika wena. So I feel like maybe like the things should be separate.
Yeah. Like separate counselor, pastor guy.
Yeah. Because then, if I won't feel like he told my business to the whole church.
Yeah.
Or he told my business to some people in the church.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I completely agree with getting counseling at church and other places. Yes.
But remember who not to talk to. I think we're leaving it open to you. You can tell us in the comment section, are you in a relationship? Are you married? Are you dating? Who do you constantly go to for advice? Is it your friends? Is it your parents? Is it your siblings? And how's that been holding out for you? Do you feel they give you good advice? Have you been able to live on the advice that they give you? You know, I think that's something I'm really interested in knowing. Because I think the worst thing is just being in a relationship or marriage and feeling like, you know what, we don't need anybody external. I would spread. Hey, tell is real, babe. Tell is real. It's very real. Tell. Yeah, so do let us know in the comment section what advice, who you talk to, who you listen to, and whose advice matters the most, right? As for us, we're really trying to find our footing in, we're still trying to identify somebody who we can confide in and talk to. So maybe also, if you know like a good marriage counselor, I think they're called marriage counselors, or just a counselor in general, do let us know in the comment section so we can give them a try and see what they have to say about our issues.
I thought of something.
What?
You know how in confessionals there's a person on this side and you can't see them and they can't see you? Maybe that approach to counseling.
No. You need to
No, think about it though, because then you won't feel like your business is being broadcasted because they know you.
No, I feel like you should know the person.
What if you want to talk to someone and
in confidence?
Yes, and you don't want them to know you because you feel like whatever you're telling them is they're gonna look at you differently after they hear it. So that's one other thing to consider.
That's like a lot of admin, no? Confessionals now?
Thank you for checking out this week's episode.
Yeah, and a quick one, if you want to get a cap similar to mine, you check out Sports Loft. They're the ones who keep us looking very nice. Every time you see us looking very sporty, that's where we get our merchandise. So I'll leave the link below in case you want to get similar merchandise, from caps to football t-shirts and the like. Yeah. Thank you so much for checking out another episode of Doek and Tie. Shoo!